All right, so everybody learned something new, and today I am learning how to do a screen record on an iPhone. So yay. All right, I'm going to go over the Gmail app. So first thing is you are looking for this red and white icon at the bottom of your screen, or at the bottom of my screen, sorry. It has that little envelope. It also looks like a red M. So I'm going to click on that. That is my Gmail app. So here is my current email inbox. An overview of this screen, I'm going to start with the plus symbol in the bottom corner. That's this red, yellow, blue and green down here. If I press that button, it brings up the compose. From here, it'll put me immediately in the to, so I can start choosing who to send it to. I'm going to send it to myself and my personal email. All right, and then you can then put your subject. I'm going to put test. And then your compose, so hello, this is a test. From here, I can attach things using that paper clip in the top left area. So this guy right here, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to choose something from my camera roll. Okay, let's see if I got a cute picture of Turner on here. Oh, there we go. That's adorable. Okay, so here's cute picture of Turner and I. It finished loading. I am now going to click this blue arrow next to the paper clip, so this little guy right here. So that actually is meant to look like a paper plane. Fun note. Kind of like you would pass notes in class before, technology. But next to it is the three little dots, and those have some pretty cool options. One really cool option. One really cool option is that you can click schedule send, and it will let you send the email later. So let's say you're working odd hours and you want to have the email show up during normal work hours or at a certain time, then you can pick what time that's going to be going. For this, I'm just going to click the little blue arrow and hit send. At the bottom of the screen, that black bar is telling me what's going on. It told me it was sent, and I can see that new email showing up in my inbox. So I'm going to click on that, and then here's my image that showed up. So I've got, it tells me the subject at the top, who all's on the email. I can click this little down arrow next to the names to see email addresses and more information. I have the option right next to that to click this little reply arrow, or the three little dots here give me an option to forward, print, or block. Please don't block me. All right, so I've got my photo. If I wanted to save this photo, I can click on it and click add to photo or share. If I scroll down to the bottom, then I get the option to reply or forward. So since I emailed myself, it's not giving me the option to reply all. It recognizes that I'm me. And so it's like, oh, you only actually emailed one other person. So I can click reply. But if there were multiple people, let me switch to a different email real quick. It would have this option at the very bottom. So again, scroll all the way to the bottom to reply all. Google also has this cool feature where it tries to auto start some emails for you. So you can see these words in blue in the little rectangles. It says, yes, I can. It worked. No, I can't. So you can actually press one of them. I'm going to press it worked, and it will pop up a new email with that phrase in it. So you can see right here, it put that in there. I don't need this email, so I'm going to go to those three little dots in the top corner and discard. Yeah, I want to get rid of that. So if I go back to this email again here, and to get between emails, I'm just clicking on the email. I talked about what to do from where the names are. So we've got our little down arrow that lets us see who sent it. The reply arrow is that arrow that's pointing to the left. Those three little dots to be able to print. Scrolling to the bottom gives me the option to reply or forward. But you might notice that as I'm scrolling, there's this top bar that's staying there. That has a few different options. The first one is an archive button. So that's this guy, the one that looks like a box with an arrow down. That means, I'm going to undo that. That means it will keep it, but it's not in your inbox anymore in case you need it later. There's the trash icon, which will put it in the trash. That will actually permanently delete after 30 days. So I recommend always just archiving. Doesn't hurt to have extra email. And then there's the little message icon, mail icon next to it, or envelope. That, when you click it, marks it as unread in your email. I'm going to go back in that email, but you can see it's unread because it's bold. Next to that envelope, there's 3 little dots. Those top 3 dots, so we talked about the bottom 3 dots, the one that's next to the arrow. The top 3 dots have some more options. There's the option to snooze, which will mean the email leaves your inbox for a period of time, and then you can choose when to get it back. I do that if I need to remember to do something at a certain time. You can then move to or change labels to put it in a folder. And then you can also print all, which is pretty much the same as clicking the 3 little dots and clicking print there. To get back, you can click this arrow in the top left. So if you look at the top left above the word test, so right above that top arrow, that'll get me back and forth. When you're in this screen, you should see the word search mail at the top. So I can see right here, search mail, and I can type in a word. So let's see how many times I use the word test in an email. Apparently quite a bit. So there is, when I search, okay. So I clicked in test, hit search. I've got all my options. I can either click the X and get rid of the search and start a new search, or I can click the back button in the top left. The top left always gets you back. Here, the top left is 3 lines. So when you click on those 3 lines, it's going to show different folders, if you have things in sent, if you have anything scheduled, if you have any drafts. All mail will show you all of your mail. So if you're using, let's go back to this email. If you're using this archive button, since it leaves your inbox, I click the back button at the top, 3 little arrows, 3 little lines, those aren't arrows. I could click all mail right here, and it would show me all of my mail. Now, most of the time you're going to live just in this inbox. So if it seems like it's the wrong emails, you can go to the 3 little lines and click inbox. I think that covers most of the Gmail app. Okay, so now that I've done the Mail app on an iPhone, I'm also going to show it to you on my iPad. So again, we're looking at this white box with a red M, or what looks like an envelope if you look really closely. So when I click on that, this should look pretty similar to how it was set up. Now, mine at the top has search mail, so that's normal. We've got our inbox with all our emails. If I click on that email, that test email I sent, you can see all the same options. It looks just the same, only a little bit bigger. There's the 3 little lines in the top left. Those show you all the options that the previous one did. Remember, you want to stick with inbox. And the compose button is all the way in the bottom corner, where this looks identical. If I turn it sideways, now it's a little different. So now I can see my most recent email on the side. So if it's this way, I only see this. I only see the subjects, but if it's sideways, I can actually click through my emails, which I think most people, when using the iPad, keep it sideways. So that's a helpful thing to know the difference between. But I believe, and when it's sideways, the little plus symbol shows up in the left panel. So you can see now our red, blue, yellow, green arrow down here. That one is now on the left panel. I think that's the only difference. Oh, sorry, one more, that the search menu is on top of the email. So it's almost like you have both screens. So in this case, you can see this is the vertical. So you can see it like this. Oh, and you can see it like this. Versus the horizontal, you can see both of those screens at the same time. I think those are the biggest differences.